Good morning, good evening, hello. Welcome back to another oh to another Minecraft Beyond the Veil sort of like walkthrough. Um, Last time that I looked at this mod, I mean it's the only mod that I've looked at, the only thing on my channel really. But the last part, I made the Dream Shrine, but um, I'd done an oopsie. Thank you, Ichiro Fuma, for pointing this out, but I accidentally added an extra layer to the Dream Shrine, so, yeah. It's supposed to be 4 layers, so 1, 2, 3, and then the heart counts as 4. It's not just like 1, 2, 3, and then after 4, and then the heart. That was too tall. So it says that this is a correct Dream Shrine, which means that I can actually I do believe, well, I don't have anything in there, so hold up, I'm gonna try how this works. So you basically just put the dream in here, come over here. I'm gonna go in survival because I don't know if this works in creative. You're gonna want to drink this, and it's gonna tell you, oh, it uses up your compass as well. Keep that in mind. I did not know this. But it's gonna tell you the coordinates of a monument nearby to the location that you used your compass. If it's a player compass, it'll use up the compass and it'll tell you the location of where the the thing that you're looking for nearby to a player that you had the compass bound to. And you know, you don't only have like you don't only just do that with compasses. It's not only like an information thing. You can also apply effects using memories of power and stillness and things like that. Yeah. So now that I've demonstrated to you what this is and what this does, we already went through the snippet of truth. We basically went down all of these trees. There's just a couple things left. Like if you were to look, we've done surgery, we've done the transformation, we've completely finished our dream segment, we've gone as far as we could with our baubles. Now there are 2 little tabs here left. I mean, we did go through automation, but we didn't completely go through automation. After the snippet of truth, we have a surgeon now, which is going to be interesting. But we also have this to new depths tab here, and I'll show you how to get that. Before we do any of that, I'm going to branch off to worship, and we're going to take a look at what that looks like. To take a look at worship, we're just going to have to keep in mind that it is in the surgery tree. So, essentially the majority of the crafting recipes will require villager parts, so just keep that in mind. So those worthless wretches, those spineless villagers, need not be turned into floody to be of use. Bound to the ground as they are, they may think themselves helpless and useless. Fools' worries, I say. All they need is a guide, or rather a god. I will gladly lend myself to the cause. A symbol is needed, say a statue. Then a link my blood will do. Blood makes for powerful binding, after all. So you have to craft yourself a statue, and it is a quite simple recipe other than the block of gold, but you know, it's a block of gold. At this point you've probably gotten many blocks of gold, especially if you're making yourself some Megidria. Probably farmed up some gold for a couple of those. But you'll need 2 hearts, a single spine, and a block of gold, and that will have to be surrounded by stone. So we're going to make ourselves one of those real quick. And here we are, we have ourselves a statue. So we're going to take this out, and then we're going to come back over to worship, and then we can progress. How pretty. It depicts me as I pray and appease my own god. I must set an example for my followers, don't I? The statue must be placed, then surrounded with crawling villagers, their spines ripped and their wills broken, of course. I must also make sure they don't flee from duty. They are to be imprisoned. Lastly, I need to cut myself on the statue to link it to me. It is an act of self-sacrifice. I must set an example after all. So there's a lot of examples needing to be set. So to make the sacrificial knife, which looks a little strange, but I kind of like it, you're going to need yourself 6 iron, 2 dorsal spines, and 2 hearts. Quite simple. Again, villager farm, and all that. So I'm going to make myself one. I'll be right back. So here we are. We have ourselves a sacrificial knife. And now that we have made this, we need to link the statue, or link a statue to myself. So we're going to take the statue, and you're going to want to make yourself a little room. So I've made myself a little room here. I like to put it next to my surgery things, because, it's quite easier to, kind of take your villagers that are spineless and just put them in a room this way. I like to make myself a little block to put the thing on. I don't think the room has to be too big. We're just gonna turn ourselves into survival, and we're gonna right click with the knife on this. It's gonna take a little bit of our health. The reason why I didn't take any of my health is because I'm wearing the bleeding belt, so instead it just took my hunger. My blood bathes this statue. It is now bound. Our link unbreakable, unbreachable. So now that we have linked ourselves to a statue, we can continue. And I feel them, their prayers. This must be what it's like. Okay, well, basically it's just talking about how, being a god and such. For some reason it seems like you don't actually have to put villagers in to continue, but you will have to gain the benefits. Right. This is something that we can look at later. But right now we're just gonna come up here. And we're gonna get ourselves some villagers, rip out their spines, and put them in our little room. So now we've got ourselves some villagers lacking dorsal spines. You don't really need to do anything else other than just put them down in the room. This was an issue that I had previously as well, is when you try to place them down, I guess, if there isn't enough room or space, they won't actually get placed. So I'm just gonna make the room a little bit bigger. So I've expanded the room, and as you can see, I can now place them down. I guess I could just put them in this corner. There we are. Oh, a memory of introspection sticks to my mind. I will not forget it. Interesting. So we can take a look at this. I accidentally clicked on this earlier, so that's why this is highlighted. We can take a look at this, but we'll take a look at this after we're done taking a look at these. So I'm going to very quickly go through what these other statues do. So when you have worshippers, it makes it so you get bonuses a little bit. Like, more deep ones can be summoned through my pact with Dagon, or yeah, your powers in general will just become stronger. It takes less time for me to recover from activating powers or baubles. Even dreams seem to grow stronger, so you can dream more than once or twice now. You can dream like 4 times, I'm assuming, or maybe that's later. Only a single statue can be used at a time, but that is enough. I now am truly godly. I grant I am grand, mighty, I am. Do I deserve all this? Or have I sinned of arrogance? And then this leads into these two other statues, Statue of Penitence and Statue of Sacrifice. So we're going to take a look at those. Just going to crawl up here real quick. So let's take a look at these statues. We got Statue of Penitence. I have sinned, I am arrogance. In my arrogance, I forgot my insignificance. I must right these wrongs with blood, my own. I will build a new statue, one that shows my regret. So Statue of Penitence. This one will require a diamond block, 2 cactus, 4 dorsal spine, 4 hearts, 2 flint, 2 buckets of tears, and a statue. So it will need a lot of organs, like hearts and spines. So I'm just going to make one real quick. So here we are, Statue of Penitence. Statue has no owner, it is not bound to anyone. So let's take a look at what this statue does. This feels more right. I wanted to play God despite being so tiny. It's only right that I suffer some punishment. The Statue of Penitence does everything the normal statue does, though it takes slightly more crawlers to achieve the same power. However, when I'm under its effects, I'm reminded of my own flaws, my failures, my weaknesses. With a sacrificial knife, I will cut myself while wielding a sword in the main hand, for I've always been weak. I will cut when I wield a shovel, an axe, a pickaxe, for I've always been slow. Even the hoe, for the green thumb I've never had. When the worshippers are enough, even the crown of thorns may become easier to use. The way of pain is an arduous one, yet not impossible. All it takes is a little sacrifice. So this, I do not exactly know what it does. I will take a look at it after we set it up. So I'm basically just going to take this, and I don't have a pickaxe, so I'm just going to break that. put the Statue of Penitence down. I did not know that you get that back. So it's like it's like the other statue, except it's cutting itself. That's amazing. It's wonderful. So we're just going to put that there. I am slowly dying. Oh wow. So when I'm holding the knife for sacrifice now, I will just be dealing damage to myself. I think it's with every weapon that I hold, I'll be dealing damage to myself. And just tools in general, I think will just be more harder to use. It seems that it makes the sacrificial crown easier to use, though. I don't exactly know what that means, but I normally don't go for the statue anyways. Interesting. I don't have another sword. I have a hoe, so I wonder if it's like I have to cut myself. It doesn't make me. Am I better at something? Like, what's happening? I'm slowly dying. This is gonna eat up a lot of slugs. I don't really know what the point of this is. I guess you can consult the mod author and ask him what this does, because I honestly have no idea. Or maybe someone in the comments will tell me. But we did the Statue of Penitence, now we're going to take a look at the Statue of Sacrifice. This one is slightly more expensive. I mean, unless you have an abundance of emeralds compared to diamonds, then, you know, this would probably be the better option. It needs blaze rods instead of cactuses, so I guess that's more expensive. You will need stone instead of flint. It's like the same crafting recipe, except stone instead of flint, blaze rods instead of cactus, and block of emerald instead of a block of diamonds. I think it's quite interesting that that's a thing. That's how that works. So I'm just gonna make that real quick. I'm just gonna make that real quick. We're just gonna, let's go. Right. So something that I had forgotten, or not really forgotten, but you know, it's something that I didn't really notice, is that I tried to craft a statue of sacrifice using a statue of penitence. That's not how that works. You just need a regular statue to craft this statue of sacrifice and the statue of penitence. You have to use a regular one. So that's something to keep in mind. So now I have the statue of sacrifice, statue of penitence. I'm just going to very quickly go down here, and we're going to set up a statue of sacrifice instead of our statue of penitence. Hold up. I don't know, it doesn't look like it's kneeling in the photo, like in the icon, although it does look like it's kneeling in the statue of sacrifice. Very strange. There might be something going on there. I'm just gonna go into creative mode, break these. You can pick them up for some reason. Put down the statue of sacrifice. You technically are kneeling here or something, and I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, you're stabbing yourself. Okay, so instead of cutting yourself, you just straight up shove a knife in your body. That's nice. We're just gonna cut ourselves on this one, and now that we have that, we can take a look at what this does. Essentially, this does the same thing as, you know, the other one, where every time I take damage... Oh... Okay. So both of these statues do the same thing as this one, where it will strengthen your baubles and your powers and your dreaming, but they do different things. This one will make it so that when you use the altar of sacrifice, okay, so you can use yourself instead of a villager. So I think that's pretty good. Yeah, so that's pretty good. You don't need to constantly use villagers. You just need 4 hearts, which is a lot easier to get now because with the statue of sacrifice, you also have a chance to get 2 hearts every time that you commit surgeries. I do believe it says that somewhere. My patients in the watery cradle seem truly inspired by my acts, so much so that they follow in my footsteps of sacrifice, and at times choose to relinquish 2 hearts instead of 1. However, that may be possible. Yeah, so it's like, you just get 2 more hearts sometimes. That's actually really fantastic. But that's only when you do the surgeries. We will be going into what it looks like when other things, quote-unquote things, when surgeons commit surgeries. I don't think that they follow the same rules that you do. Yeah. And like the other one, the statue of penitence, it requires more crawlers to have a stronger power. So, really, the statue of sacrifice is quite nice. I use it because the more hearts is amazing. It's fantastic. So now that we've gone through these statues, we can take a look at Statue of Valor. What is this? There is no such thing as valor. And even if there were, I'd be no paragon. This research is a dead end. So this is actually really cool. I'm really glad that he added something like this, because it made me want to make both of these statues, even though that you could, you know, it's mainly only good to use one. I probably shouldn't have even shown you that. It'd be so good if I would have been like, oh, you can discover this on your own. It needs both of these statues research. Anyways, that's really cool. It's like a little tree to its own. So that now that we've went through the statues, we're going to continue on and look at dreams of introspection. A memory of introspection. As I reflect upon my own self while I walk among my worshippers. Through this memory, I can know more of the power I've obtained in my journey. Of course, were I to target someone else with the dream, I may also scry into their secrets. So very cool. Just need a paper. It's another very simplistic memory to create. So I'm just going to make that real quick, use it on myself so we can see exactly what's going on in my life. I'll be right back. So we're just going to come over here, take this, put this dream in here, and then we're going to use it on ourselves to see what's going on in our lives. And you can see right here, it says, the introspection dream tells me of myself. Chosen deity, the great dreamer. It'd be very interesting if it would tell you, like, if you were playing witchery or something, and you, I don't know, dedicated yourself to one of those gods, it would tell you what god you're dedicated to. I don't think it does that, though. Maybe if they added more H.P. Lovecraft deities, that'd be pretty cool. Attack multiplier plus 60%. Attack multiplier in water plus 384%. Defense multiplier minus 30%. Defense multiplier in water minus 51%. Dream bonus 3. Has not dreamt a void. This is not true, I have. I don't know why it says that. Worship type sacrifice worship strength 1. So you can increase that strength, you know, have more followers, become stronger. That's what introspection does. Now that we've gone down this tree, essentially, we're just going to take a look at Surgeon. Surgeon, summon a surgeon. Something about how, you know, my alliance with Dagon brings new contacts, and among these come the surgeons, offering their skills to those who seek them. I must craft a letter, a summons of sorts, for a surgeon to research me? To reach me. Not to research me. To reach me. I then only need to use it on the ground. I'll do it once, then sort the surgeon's job's details later, once I've taken a look at him. So to make a surgeon's letter, it's actually quite simple, and you might need 2 or 3 of these, depending on how much automation you want to do with this. So 2 hearts, a dorsal spine, an ink sac surrounded by paper. So it seems like you will need to get yourself some reed for both, or sugar cane for both dream introspection and surgeon letter, surgeon summons. So I'll make myself one of these. I'll be right back. So here we are, surgeon summons. Let's take a look at this. So surgeon, summon a surgeon. So we're just gonna, you know, summon him. Let's see what he looks like. Let's see what they look like. I'm sorry. So we're just gonna put this down, and I had wondered why surgeons would ever form a society of their own. Little did I know that a surgeon is not a profession. No, it's a race. One that does not belong to my world. Is this a race made with intent? After all, they all share a singular purpose. What if I, too, were part of a breed that was made, not by chance, but by will, without knowing for how I could. Okay. A surgeon is a useful servant, or rather, ally. I must place him close to a watery cradle with which I want him, her, it, whatever, to work. I must then use surgery tools on him to specify which action I want performed. The surgeon will then operate every time a patient appears in the cradle, placing the resulting patient on top of the device and keeping hearts or spines to himself. I can then interact with him with bare hands to be given all materials he gathered. A much more useful technique, however, is that of binding the summons to a nearby chest before using it. To do that, I can interact with a chest wielding the letter while sneaking. I can clear the previous binding by right-clicking in the air while sneaking. A surgeon summoned with a bound summons will put any output of his operations, both patience and materials, in the bound chest, provided they are sufficiently close to each other. Since villagers and weepers in item form can enter cradles as well, I can effectively pipeline surgeons, one after the other. A surgeon can be picked up by its master with a blackjack. So, again, it's a machine, essentially. You have to pick it up with a blackjack. So, it gives you back the letter. Very interesting, very cool. We're going to go to the surgery room. We're actually going to take ourselves a chest. And we're going to take ourselves a chest. And we're going to take this. So I'm just going to make a very simple, automated, like, base level kind of surgery automation thing. I'll just show you. I'll show you what I mean. I'll be right back. So before we do anything, I have created something very interesting. Essentially, I made it so, like, I didn't know you could do this, but crawling villagers are their own entity. So I put them in with, I don't even need the blackjack at this point, do I? I put them in a spawner. I'm gonna hurry up before it gets too overcrowded. So we're just gonna, surgeon's container location, put the surgeon down. What you need to do is you need to get yourself some surgery tools. Jeez. Oh wow, that's a lot of bodies. That's a lot of bodies. It's gonna pile up. I really need to get myself some surgery tools right away. Here they are. You're gonna take yourself some surgery tools, and you're going to right-click on the surgeon. Effectively, it's a lot of villagers. Okay, so you're gonna right-click on the surgeon, and it's gonna show you the same GUI that it would show you if you would right-click on a villager in a watery cradle. Let's say that I want hearts. The surgeon will remove the hearts and put them in the chest with the villager. So this is very surface level. I once had it where I made a room on top of a room on top of a room. There's actually a video on something like that that Valeriotor actually released about automation, where it was like a surgeon in a room that would rip out like the first room with the villager spawner, and then it's like the villagers get put on conscious, and then after they go into the watery cradle, surgeon comes over, rips out the spine, puts the villager and the spine in the chest. Those items go through a dream focus for items. It goes up into another room where there's another surgeon that will like the villager will go into the watery cradle, and the spine will go into a chest. The surgeon is linked to the chest that the spine is in, and it will rip out the heart and put the villager and the heart into the same chest as the spine. The spine will then go through the spine and the heart and the villager chest will then go through an item curtain that will make it so that all the villagers that are expiring will essentially get thrown into lava or trash, or a bad chest, and then all the other good stuff will get put into the hearts and spine chest. So then you could just continuously accumulate spines and hearts over time, and it's actually really awesome. And if you want to save your villagers, they don't really stack. They don't stack. So that's why I would want them to get trashed, because they'll just fill up the chest. Actually, we can take a look at that. They'll just fill up the chest completely. So as you can see, they're kind of like that. The hearts are stacking, but the villagers themselves are not. So I suggest that you kind of trash the villagers when they're useless, because especially if you're using the statue of sacrifice, you no longer need villagers without hearts. You can use villagers without spines, but you don't need villagers without hearts. Unless you're trying to make weepers, and this kind of segues into my next section, because I'm not going to build the 3 rooms. You can go look at Valeriotor's video, back to New Depths. So before we can do anything related to New Depths, you're going to have to get yourself a weeper. If you already have weepers, then this is fine. If you don't have any weepers, though, just make yourself one. So I have myself a weeper here. We're going to place him down, and we're just going to right-click. I cannot see the world around me, yet I know it even better than you do, Master, and it is most horrid. Oh, it's not doing the thing. Okay. Maybe I might need to be in survival. Master, I can share a terrible, terrible secret with you. All I ask in return is for you to promise to grant me a wish. A single wish. Speak to me again if you accept. So prepare. Prepare for what's about to happen, because it is quite interesting. I'm just going to move this guy. So you're going to keep talking to him, essentially. Oh, Master, my dear, thank you. The secret has been kept for too long. Master, do you know what a Shoggoth is? Most died long ago, yet still a few roam the deepest seas, but you can make one too. That little voice in your head, that one that drives you, your writing hand, it'll teach you how to make one. My wish, Master, it is time for me. I beg you, dear Master, please kill me. Please, I beg you to kill me. Please kill me. Please, Master, kill me. Master, you promised. And then after, he'll come after you. Very cool. So that was interesting. That was a frenzied weeper, and you got to keep that in mind. It's kind of like the same thing with the folly being used on a weeper. It'll make them frenzied. So now that we've unlocked to New Depths, from New Depths we unlock Shog-off, and this is connected to weepers, or more specifically Fletty, and we'll see why. A Shoggoth. Shoggoths, shapeless mass of flesh, washed away eons ago on the sea's shores. Slaves to the elder things, builders of cities, they're born from tears. I must create a Shoggoth vat. That is a 3x3x3 cube of tears, making sure each block is filled. Then 3 Fletty must be placed in it. Once all is done, I must enter it, and through a dream bottle, I must dream simultaneously of darkness, eldritchness, learning, and void. A Shoggoth is no gentle creature. It will attack all animals and all players other than its owner on sight. If it becomes too delighted in killing, then not even its owner is safe. A Shoggoth is to be picked up through a blackjack, provided that it is sufficiently calm. So there is a little bit of a glitch, I guess, that happens with Shoggoths and blackjacks, where instead of picking up the Shoggoth, it'll just not really make it angry. I think it makes it angry, actually. I don't know. I tried it out a couple times in creative mode. In my survival world, I could never pick it up. It was just there. It was just there forever. So that was scary. I put it in the mining world portal because I have that mod, just to test it out. You know, I built a couple things. Anyways, I'm getting ahead to myself. We'll get there when we get there. First, a Shoggoth. So to craft yourself a Shoggoth, you're going to need to do what it says. You're going to need to make a 3x3 cube of tears, making sure each block is filled, then 3 Fletty must be placed in. So you will need to do that, and I will do that. I'll be right back. So like the vats of water that we've made previously to dream in and commune with, every single block needs to be a source block. So we're just going to do this, and you're going to want to make sure that every block is a source block. And I already ruined it. So just kind of do this until it's a pool like that. You remove this, make that like that, and you're just going to want to continue this until everything is a source block and there is no flowing liquid at all whatsoever. So this one's going to be a little bit tougher. By the way, yes, I don't know if I mentioned this before, but your swimming powers, I don't know, your deep one, like swimming thing, happens in tiers as well. I don't know if it happens in every single liquid, but I'm assuming it does. So just keep that in mind if you are playing a mod that has a liquid. So there we are. So this one's going to be a little bit more tough. We're just going to do this. And then we're going to put the source block here. And there we are. This is a 3x3x3. 3x3x3. Yes. A 3x3x3 cube of tears. Kind of gross if you think about it. You know, imagine like you're swimming in tears essentially. Like sticky tears. I don't know why I think tears are sticky, but I don't know. It's weird. It's a weird thing to think about. You're gonna take out your Fletty. You're gonna need 3, but since I'm in creative mode, I only need 1 spawner thing. And you're gonna want to place them in here. I'm actually just gonna put a single light source. And you're gonna want to just. I forgot how I did this. I think it could be like. Just like that, I guess. I don't know. Can you actually just place them in here? Oh, you can. This is not required. You just place them in here. It didn't say where to put the Fletty, so I think this is just going to work fine. And finally, you're going to want to get yourself your dream bottle, and you're going to want to fill it up with tears. So I'm actually just going to do a little bit of this maneuver where we come over here and fill this up. Because, you know, I know that it's close to the end of the mod, and it's kind of sad, but we're just gonna get that full, and then we're gonna get ourselves our dreams. What dreams do we need? We need to get ourselves a dream of darkness, eldritchness, learning, and void. Simple. It's just like this one, water walking. So let's just do that real quick. So I've got myself my dream bottle full of darkness, learning, eldritchness, and void. So we're just gonna come down here. Whoops, come down here. Wait, that's interesting. It just completely pauses you. I did not know this. This is so strange. That's so weird. Okay. Does it do it in survival mode, or do you just keep falling? Oh, you keep falling. Interesting. So we're gonna make ourselves a Shog-off. Shoggoth. Shog-off. Come down here, hold down Shift, right click, and there we are. We have ourselves a Shog-off, and you're gonna want to make a way out of here so that you can leave. I'm so like my mind is nowhere all the time. So now we have ourselves a Shog-off. What can you do with the Shog-off? Well, we're gonna look at this little branching path here, city mapping. Shoggoths once built cities, they shall do so again. So craft a city mapper. This one is probably one of the easiest crafting recipes that you can make in the gear bench. It is literally just like a bunch of oak wood, and then 4 papers. More specifically, it's 10 oak wood. So we're just gonna do that, you know. Don't even need to pause this time. We're just gonna do that. So 10, and then after we're gonna take out our paper, and this is probably one of my favorite things about the mod, because it is interesting that this is in it. there isn't really like a cost to doing this other than the safety of yourself and everyone else around you, because I'm pretty sure Shoggoths deal void damage, which means even if you're in creative mode, you could die from it very easily. And also I think they heal, like, I don't know, there's just a bunch to Shoggoths, and I feel like the only way you can really fight a Shoggoth is if you are in Draconic Evolution armor or something. I don't know. So we're just gonna pull out a portal frame and I'm gonna make a thing. I'll be right back. This has no relation to the mod whatsoever. I'm just gonna use it so that we can demonstrate the Shoggoth without it killing anything. Because there is nothing. Hold up. Okay. There's nothing in this world, which means it's actually a lot easier for you to... Hold up. Do I have a blackjack? Yes, I do. Alright, so we're going to try to do a couple things. We're going to put this down first. I'm going to eat slugs. This is not a slug. I'm out of slugs. Oh no. Okay. So this is loaded. This is quite interesting. So far there are only these 6. Alright, so there are only 6, like, things you can build. Tall tower, tower, large tower, pyramid, wall, and road. So you can, when you click on the wall and the road, it'll kind of show you like a little dot that you can then like build off of, kind of like this, and then you stop it there and you can kind of like that. Oh, interesting. I think you have to click on it again. I don't think I've ever built. So far I've kind of built this, and once you're done with your thing, I'm just gonna see. Once you're done with your thing, you're gonna want to save changes, and create, and it'll create a little Shoggoth map. And with this, put down the Shoggoth. It looks really awesome, by the way. Like, look at this. Like, I don't even know where its face is. I think it's this. Looks pretty cool. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to give your Shoggoth this map that you've made, and it'll start building, just for free. Once you've unlocked this stuff, by the way, you can now make Elderstone, which is blocks of quartz and clay, and it'll give you 8. But I mean, at this point, you know, you could just make this guy make you Elderstone. Unless, I don't know. He'll just kind of make... Interesting, that's what a road looks like. He'll just kind of make like an infinite amount of things out of this block. It's actually really cool. I really like the look of this block. So we're just going to come back when he's done building, and we'll take a look at what he has made. While we're waiting for our Shoggoth to finish up here, we're just going to take a little look at the book real quick, kind of make a little bit of an overview. So a little bit of an overview. We started off with dreams. This is kind of like the dream section here. I mean, it kind of goes off like this. Actually, it's more like this. And then from the dream section, we had the plants. We had the entrance into the gravy, into the sauce, the Cthulhu sauce section. And from communion, we had the surgery tree, which was basically all of this. And then we also had the deep wind tree, which was basically all of this. And once after you complete the snippet of truth, oh, we must keep going. Never yield, the truth draws close. The veil weakens, my knowledge grows, my will. Wait, what will is left? As if someone ripped my own spine. No, we'll keep going, we must. To the bottom of the deepest oceans. to Arch, and then to Epirion. I don't know that word. I'm gonna stop talking about it. Our journey won't end until we breach, until we... Wait. Who's we? Very cool. So that's new depths. So then there's like this little intersection point between Weepers and to new depths, which leads you to the Shoggoths and city mapping. I kind of counted Shoggoths as a part of the Deep One tree, because I mean they are constructs of the Deep Ones. They were what is it again? They were slaves or something. Anyways, it's kind of still building it. It's taken a while. I think I left this running once because I built a lot of things. Anyways, we can take a look at this. So this is the pyramid. Looks pretty cool. So water here. This is the entrance. You come in, climb up the stairs, go down here. You have this part. Come down here. You have this part. And actually, no, the entrance is up here. So yeah, I think that was 2 levels. So there's actually no 1. Yeah, there's just 2 levels. I don't know. I thought there was more than 2 levels, but I was wrong. Then you have the regular tower, or I think this is the tall tower. This is the tall tower. This is the regular tower, and this is the big tower. So we're gonna take a look at the tall tower first. It's quite thin. So I also suggest that you guys put light sources in here, because if the Shoggoth sees any enemies or any entities whatsoever that isn't you, the one who created it, it will kill them. It will try to kill them. And if it kills too many entities, it will try to kill you, its creator, and then you'll be stuck with a Shoggoth to deal with. And that's the worst thing to do. So here we are, the tower. It's quite tall. Every room kind of looks the same till it leads up to here. And then after we have this regular tower like this. Now, I apologize for the screaming in the background. There are people here that are just yelling, and I would like for them to stop yelling. But essentially, that's what the tower looks like. It's kind of small. There is no limit, by the way, to what you can build with these. I know that it sounds weird to say that there isn't a limit, but I guess the trade-off is the Shoggoth being so dangerous to deal with. While it's building, I guess we can take a look at this tower. It's actually really cool. I really like this one. You can make a base, because you don't have to build it in a different dimension. You could build it in the overworld. I tried to build it underwater because, you know, you're a fish person. Shouldn't you be living underwater? But it seems like it'll just build it above the water because of how the city mapper works. You can actually move the city mapper if you would like to a different location. The thing is, while you're doing that, it needs to load the surrounding environments. But yeah, that's essentially it. That's basically all there is to the mod, really. It was kind of short, and I say this, it took me like 10 episodes. Actually, I think this is 9, right? I do believe this is 9. Anyways, I think it's done. I don't know if it's done. Did I make it add anything else? That's why it's moving? Oh yes, I made it build another wall. So this is what a road looks like, I guess. This is what a wall looks like. I thought these were roads, but they aren't. So it's done. This is where things get sketchy. Because normally you should be able to, like... Oh! It worked! Okay. Sometimes it doesn't. Like if I were to put it down again, and I were to try to pick it up. Alright. I don't know why it's working. It normally doesn't. So... that's fantastic. Sometimes there's a glitch where instead of picking it up, it'll just aggro it. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for constantly doing that. Essentially that was the mod, really. That was it. That was the mod. There's nothing else. Nothing else that I think there is to take a look at. Thank you so much to Zonko the Great, I think his name is, and why is my mouse sticky? It's not fun. Zonko the Great and hold up. Thank you for Ichirufuma as well, for telling me some very valuable information. Very cool for you. And then, yeah, thank you for everyone else that was watching these videos, that stuck with the chaotic ness that is the way that I do things. Like, for example, my inventory is constantly cluttered because I don't remove things when I'm done with them. This is a completely different thing. And then after, on top of that, you have the fact that, I don't know, I just, not really stutter, but I kind of roll backwards on my words. So yeah, that's essentially it, really. I made a chest every single time there was like a thing and my inventory was full. Like, for example, this was related to the floral episode, and I put some tablets in here for some reason. This is from this episode, I think. This is also from, like, the Deep One episode, where I had this sword. Dang, okay. So that was it, basically, for this mod, for this version of this mod, and there's definitely a lot more to take a look at, and there's a lot more to be added, and there's a lot more, really just all around. This mod was fantastic. It is amazing, and if you haven't yet put it in your 1.12 mod pack, you should definitely do that, because I don't think there are too many problems with this mod. It is a really cool mod. It's really cool for Dark RP. It's really nice for automation. Like, the automation is just amazing. Like, look at this. It's just, wow, so good. I really liked it. That was basically it. For this mod. So thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching. Love yourself. And have a phenomenal day. Phenomenal night. Phenomenal just everything. Just have the greatest, you know? Bye.